Hello everybody. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic of human resource management, that is training and development. So let's first understand the meaning of training. Training is an organized activity for increasing the knowledge and skills of people for a definite purpose. Yes, it involves a systematic procedure for transferring technical know-how to the employees so as to increase their knowledge and skills for doing specific jobs with proficiency. In other words, the trainees acquire technical knowledge, skills, and problem solving ability by undergoing the training program. According to Edwin B. Flippo, training is the act of increasing the knowledge and skills of an employee for doing a particular job. Training is the act of increasing the knowledge and skill of an employee for the benefit of both the employees as well as the firm. And yes, training involves the development of skills that are usually necessary to perform a specific job. Its purpose is to achieve a change in the behavior of those trained and to enable them to do so their jobs in a better way. Now, what are the objectives and the purpose of training? Basically, the purpose of training is to bring about improvement in the performance of work. It includes the learning of such techniques as are required for the better performance of definite task. Let us understand by some points, that is, to impart to new entrants the basic knowledge and skill they need for an intelligent performance of definite tasks, to assist employees to function more effectively in their present positions by exposing them to the latest concepts, information, and techniques and developing the skills they need in their particular field, to build up a second line of competent officers and prepare them to occupy more responsible positions, to solve organizational problems and avoid managerial obsolescence, to reduce the number of accidents and improve employee performance, to increase productivity and quality, to satisfy personal growth needs of the employees, and yes, to reduce labor turnover and absenteeism. Now let's see what are the significance of training and development. It helps in increasing the productivity of the employees by increasing their level of performance. It helps in improving the quality of work done by the employees. It helps a company fulfilling its future personal needs. It helps in improving organizational climate of a company. It helps in improving the health and safety procedures of the organization. It helps in obsolescence prevention. It helps in the personal growth of the employees. And also it enables employees to do the work in a more effective way to reduce learning time, reduce supervision time, reduce wastage and spoilage of raw material, and produce quality goods and develop their potential. Now let us see what are the steps in training process. There are basically 5 steps in a training process, which includes the assessment of training needs, which says the needs are identified through an analysis of the entire organization, its operation, and human resources available. The second step says training and development objectives. That is, once training needs are assessed, training and development goals or objectives must be established. The third step in training process is designing the training programs and manuals. The fourth step in training process is the implementation of training program. And the fifth and the last step in training process is the evaluation of the results. Now we will see the methods of training. Basically, training methods are divided into two specific criteria: on-the-job training and off-the-job training. Let us see what is an on-the-job training method. This type of training is imparted on the job and at the workplace, where the employee is expected to perform his duties. It enables the worker to get training under the same working conditions and environment and with the same materials, machines, and equipment that he will be using ultimately after completing the training. Now, off the job training. This type of training method occurs when employees are taken away from their place of work to be trained. That means workers or the employees learn their job roles away from the actual work floor. Now, what are the various on-the-job training methods? Number one, job instruction training. This is also known as step-by-step training, in which the trainer explains the way of doing the jobs of the training and in case of mistakes, corrects the training. Second, job rotation. The major objective of job rotation training is the broadening of the background of trainee in the organization. If trainee is rotated periodically from one job to another job, he acquires a general background. Internship and assistantships. Under this method, instructions through theoretical and practical aspects are provided to the trainees. Usually, students from the engineering and commerce colleges receive this type of training for a small stipend. Apprenticeship training. Under this method, the trainee is placed under a qualified supervisor or instructor for a long period of time, depending upon the job and skills required. Wages to the trainee are much less than those paid to qualified workers. This type of training is suitable in profession, trades, crafts, and technical areas like fitter, turner, electrician, welders, carpenters. The next one is coaching. On-the-job coaching by the supervisor is an important and potentially effective approach is superior. The technique involves direct personal instruction and guidance, usually the extensive demonstration. Understudy method. In this method, a superior gives training to a subordinate as his understudy, like an assistant to a manager or director in a film. The subordinate learns through experience and observation by participating in handling day-to-day problems. Basic purpose is to prepare subordinate for assuming the full responsibilities and duties. Now comes the methods of the job training. Off-the-job training methods includes vestibule training. Under this method, actual work conditions are created in a classroom or a workshop. The machines, materials, and tools under this method is same as those used in actual performance in the factory. This method gives more importance to learning process rather than production. Next, lecture. Lecturing is the most traditional form of formal training method. Special courses and lectures can be established by business organizations in numerous ways as the part of their development programs. Next one is simulation exercise. An increasing popular technique of management development is simulation of performance. In this method, instead of taking participants into the field can be simulated in the training session. That means the field can be simulated in the training session itself. Simulation is the presentation of a real situation of organization in the training session. Then comes conference or discussion. In this method, the participants pools their ideas and experience in attempting to arrive at improved methods of dealing with the problems which are common subject of discussion. Conference may include bus sessions that divide conferences into small group of 4 or 5 intensive discussion. These small groups then report back to the whole conference with their conclusions or questions. Then comes case study. A case study is a written account of a trained reporter or analyst seeking to describe an actual situation. Some causes are merely illustrative, others are detailed and comprehensive, demanding extensive and intensive analytical ability. Cases are widely used in a variety of programs. This method increases the trainee's power of observation, helping him to ask better questions and to look for broader range of problems. Of the job training method include role playing. Now its purpose is to increase the trainee's skill in dealing with other people. One of the greatest use in connection with human relations training, but it is also used in sales training as well. It is spontaneous acting of a realistic situation involving 2 or more persons under classroom situations. Now let us understand what does laboratory training means. Laboratory training adds to conventional training by providing situations in which the trainee themselves experience through their own interaction some of the conditions they are asking about. In this way, they more or less experiment on themselves. Then comes the audio-visual technique. Now, audio-visual technique covers an array of training techniques such as films, slides, and videotapes. It allows participants to see while listening and is usually quite good at capturing their interest. These methods allow a trainer message to be uniformly given to numerous organization, location at one time and to be reused as often as required. So students, this was all about the meaning, objectives and significance of training, including the process of training and the various methods of training. I hope you understood and liked this session. Thank you.